Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm not sure how long it will take for Sir Mark to fix his internet or Wi-Fi connection. So I guess, in fairness to everyone who's already here, okay lang po ba if I start na? Mic test pala, no? Rinig niyo
It's
ba ako?
okay, sir.
Okay, ayan. So, pasensya na po kayo. This is the first time that happened to Sir Mark. I don't know, baka may problema yung lugar nila. Kaya, in his behalf, I'm apologizing, no? Kasi this has never happened. We always start earlier than the time that's been allotted. So, okay, so nawala na yata, Sir Mark. So I'm going to just start by saying hello to everyone para personalize. No, I always try to say hello to everyone. Kasi hindi naman tayo ganun karami, no? So let me begin. I'll just go through the list of participants here in the attendance. So we have good morning po, Sir JP. Good morning, Ma'am Aura. Sir Ram. Sir Ram, I'm assuming that you are Filipino because I hoping to speak Taglish, no? Because last time we had Cambodians and I had to had to speak in the pure English. 2 hours speaking pure English, so that's a challenge. Sir Gerardo, good morning po. And Sir Amado, Ma'am Aura, Ma'am Diana, Sir Irvin, our Suki, Ma'am Emily also.
Good
Ayan,
morning, sir.
yeah. Ma'am Kathy, Ma'am
Good
Kristen,
morning, sir.
Ma'am, yeah, good morning po, Ma'am Laika, Ma'am Maria Carmencita, Ma'am Mayan, Sir Ronel, Ma'am Rosmalen, Ma'am Shannon, and Ma'am Virginia. So,
Good
to
morning,
those,
sir.
good morning po. So, those
Morning po.
who are joining Powerhouse for the first time, I thank you for being with us this Sunday morning. And for those of you who have been loyally attending all our webinars, no, thank you also. And so let's have a productive morning. Okay, so let me just begin already. Okay, so again, let me know if I suddenly have technical problems like Sir Mark, no, baka bigla mawala yung audio ko or hindi umaandar yung slides. So if that happens, kindly let me know para hindi po tayo... No. Ayan, Sir Mark, welcome po. I tried to start already. So I hope you don't mind, Sir Mark, no? Kasi I don't know how long it might take for you to return, no? Para hindi naman naiinip ang ating mga Sunday morning participants. So, ayan. So, okay. So Sir Mark is still having technical problems. So, sige po. So, let me just try to open my PowerPoint. Okay, so please kindly let me know kung kita na po ba sa inyong screen. Kasi baka mamaya akala ko kita nyo na, hindi pala. Alam nyo naman ang ating limitations nowadays, no? We are so dependent on technology. So, can you see po? Kita naman po ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
po.
sir.
Okay, ayan. So, let's begin. All right. So, how to effectively write a research proposal. So, let's start. Okay. So, research. Ayan. So, what comes to mind when we hear the word research? No? So, ano ba po pasok sa isip po natin? Ayan. So, try to think about that for a while. No? Because lalo na yung mga graduate students ko, no? When they start doing their masteral thesis, no? They always find themselves lost and afraid. They feel lost and afraid. Nako, thesis na. Pero kailangan. Kaya marami akong mga kilala na pagdating sa thesis, hindi na walang ganda na lang sila. No? Walang thesis, hindi na nakakatapos. No? Because of that stumbling block, no? And sometimes the problem is really just in our mind. Okay? So, if we have not so positive feelings about this word, what could be the reason? Yan. No? So, if you have biases against, no, usually it's emotional. Let's try to set that aside for now, no? How we think and feel about research, no? Parang blank slate, gaya nitong nakikita niyo yung picture, no? Let's start with a blank slate, tabula rasa. Yan. Kalimutan muna natin yung mga ideas and conceptions or misconceptions natin about research, no? Okay, so what we want to do talaga is we want to remove or undo all our biases kasi doon tayo na nagkakaproblema, no? When we have a bias against a particular thing, no? That we are already defeated, no? Battles are first won in the mind, no? Sabi nga po ni Joan of Arc, no? So you have to win the battle in your mind first. Kaya ko to. Ayan. Okay. So they are the invisible obstacle. So I don't know if some of you have this problem, no? This challenge, no? Research na, ganyan, no? So okay lang po yun. Marami pong nakakaranas yan. Our goal is to overcome that. Okay, so let's have a fresh start. Yan. So let's begin again. Okay, so para ma-appreciate po natin ang research, let's consider everything that we know around us. Ano po ba alam natin tungkol sa mundo natin? No? Ayan. And especially the technology right now, we're using technology. We are surrounded by technology. We're so dependent on technology. And bakit nga po ba? No? Because all of this technology is actually what? A product of research. Hindi po ba? So, syempre, they call it R&D. Pero part pa rin ng research doon. Now, without research, we would probably be still living in the Middle Ages. No? Walang kuryente and all that. No desire for discovery. Yeah, everything that we know is just a product of a desire for discovery, right? So we talk about discovery, but discovery is a product of curiosity. Yeah. So the curious mind is the one that discovers a lot of things. So what is it that sparks our curiosity about the world around us, no? So it involves two things. Ano po ba yun? Una, the things that we observe around us, like for example, noong unang panahon, we observe plants growing, no? Bakit kaya tumutubo ang mga halaman, no? And then someone observed this, no? And then became curious. Ano nga ba ang dahilan, no? The philosophers of old, when they had time on their hands to wonder about the things around them, the things they see, no? They came up with all sorts of philosophies about whether the world is round or flat or the center of the universe and all these things, no? And of course, we know better now because of research. Tama po ba? No? Okay. So, ayan. So, we want to make sense of the world. No? That is our never-ending quest. Naka-program ata sa atin yan, ano? We are the only creatures programmed with this desire, no? You don't see animals trying to make sense of the world around them. Tayo lang. No? So let's try to appreciate, no, the world around us, no, by appreciating what makes us curious. Yeah. Okay, so let me just share, bago po tayo mag-start, mag-share lang po ako ng sarili kong experience about curiosity. Yan, kasi sabi nga po ni Sir Mark, research is my passion. Yan. Whenever I'm curious about something, no, so kailangan ko i-research talaga. Okay, so wala nagsasabi sa akin na mag-research pero nire-research ko. Like for example, a few years back, no, I was curious. I also have college students, and I wondered, ano po ba ang reason? What was the reason for them when they choose a particular college program or degree program? Di ba? We no longer call it course. Kasi iba na ibig sabihin ng course. Anong kurso mo? No, it's now called degree program. Ayan. Ano nga ba? Ano nga ba ang dahilan? So there could be a whole bunch of reasons. So, napakaraming reasons na pwedeng nating i-consider. No? An endless list of possible factors. Pero syempre, no, we cannot research all of them. No? Hindi natin pwede research yan sabay-sabay lahat. No? Man is the most complicated creature of all. Yan. So, and I didn't want to focus only on an external factor like nasabihan siya ng nanay niya na ito aralin mo anak, or gaya-gaya siya sa kung sino man, or na girlfriend, boyfriend niya, yun ang kurso, kaya ginaya na lang niya, or barkada niya. Now, these are all external factors. I wanted to consider something inside the person that perhaps pushes the person to a particular degree program that he chooses. So yun po yung naging idea ko, no? So sabi ko, ano kaya ang katangian ng tao na makes that person choose? So is it intelligence? No? Pero kung intelligence lang, ano bang intelligence? IQ lang ba? Pero hindi eh. Lahat ng matataas ng IQ, hindi naman pare-pareho kinukuhang kurso or degree program. So sabi ko, baka merong mas bagong pagkakaunawa sa intelligence, no? And then I remember ditong theory of multiple intelligences. Sabi ni Howard Gardner, there are 8 intelligences. And then sabi ko, interesting to kasi Howard Gardner based his theory on the skills that cultures or societies value in us. These skills are the ones that actually are used to produce professions, careers, and jobs. No? When you have a particular skill, yun yung nagiging source ng livelihood and income mo. No? So sabi ko, baka pwede ito. Try ko ito. Tapos naghanap ako ng instrument, no? A test that could measure multiple intelligence. And then what did I do? Sabi ko, in one of the schools that I taught, no? Sabi ko, magkano kaya ako? Spread kaya ako ng mga instrument na yan, no? Multiple intelligence test to measure their MI, no? To the different students of the different degree programs. So, syempre, nung time na yun, wala pa mga Google Forms, di pa uso yan. So, kailangan magpa-imprenta, magpa-xerox ako ng sandamakmak na kopya. No? And I did it on my own lang, sabi ko. Curious ako eh. Sabi ko, I could not help myself. I need to do this, sabi ko. So, pina-xerox ko and I gave it to all the first-year college students. Imagine that, no? Binigay ko sa kanila, dami nila, almost 1,000. Almost 1,000. Alright, so what happened? So, sabi ko nga, no one told me to do the study. I was just curious. So, may kinalaman kaya multiple intelligence sa kanilang choice ng kurso? Okay, so what happened? After I got the answer sheets, wala pang Google Forms nun. I took me a month to analyze the data. Oh my God, I had to score each student. Each student had 8 scores kasi 8 multiple intelligences yan eh. And then almost 1,000 students. No? So, sabi ko, isang buwan ako nag-check. Ano bang ginawa ko sa sarili ko? Parang pinahirapan ko yata sa sarili ko. There was a time I almost gave up. No? Sabi ko, parang huwag na lang. Hirap, pero sabi, hindi, sinimulan ko na ito eh. Sayang naman yung perang ginastos ko sa Xerox. Ayan. So anyway, so natapos ko din. Gumamit pa ako ng analysis of variance and all that. Alam niyo po yun, analysis of variance. Isipin niyo, mano-mano. hindi SPSS, hindi Excel, mano-mano. Tuturo din po kasi ng statistics, kaya sabi ko, might as well, just to be sure. Okay. And then, after I got the results, nagulat ako. Sabi ko, wow, iba-iba ang MI nila, oh. Kada kurso, iba-iba ang MI, iba-iba yung dominant, no? All their MI profiles were unique, depende sa degree program. So what I did, I compiled my results, no? I made it into something like a thesis, no? Hindi naman talagang thesis na may chapter 1 to 5, pero sinamarize ko yung results niya. No? And then, I presented it to my school. Sabi ko, to sa president, look at my discovery po. Iba-iba pala MI profile ng mga nag-aaral ng courses natin. Sabi nila, submit mo yan, hanap ka ng platform, no? Hanap ka ng forum where you can submit your findings kasi kakaiba eh. So, sinabit ko dito sa Royal Institution Singapore, who also holds research conferences, no? Research conferences. Tinanggap nila, dito tuwan-tuwa yung school sa akin. And then, tama-tama, may research conference silang i-hold, no? And sabi sa akin natanggap yung aking, nandyan ako, natanggap yung aking paper. Sabi sa akin, present mo yan, sabi ng school. Present mo yan saan? Sa Malaysia. Kasi doon yung research conference eh. So, pinadala ako ng school sa Malaysia, all expenses paid. Yan po ako. Ganda ng toga namin. Meron pa kaming golden toga. No? So, it was not just a source of pride for me to represent my school, but also the Philippines. No? Isipin niyo po yun. Hindi lang po yun. Na-publish pa po yung aking research, no, in an international journal. So, if you Google my research, lalabas po yan sa Ascendance Asia Journal of Multidisciplinary Research. Yan. So yun po yung kwento ng aking research na nagsimula lang po sa curiosity. Dahil po sa curiosity ko, kapunta po ako sa Malaysia, all expenses paid. And no one told me to do it. It was just me. Ano po? So, nakakatuwa po. So, yun lang po, no? Para lang gusto ko lang po baka sana ma-inspire po kayo dun sa aking kwento. Yan. Marami pa po yan ever since. Matagal na po ito ever since marami na po ako ibang nagawang researches. It's all just curiosity. Wala naman nagsasabi sa aking gawin. Okay po. So, ayan. So, what is the goal of a research proposal? Ito na, start na po tayo. Alam po natin na pag tayo po ay gumagawa ng research proposal, no? The goal is to get your research instructor or research panel to approve your research topic. No, yan po ang goal natin. Kasi proposal pa lang naman po yan eh. Right? You're just going to propose your topic. And I will be giving you certain tips on how to have your topic approved, your research proposal approved. So what you need is a convincing argument for your research topic. Ano po ba yun? Ayan. First, establish what is called a research gap. When you say gap, may puwang, may kulang. Ano po? So how do you know? Will you find out if there is a research gap? No? What you can do is find out if it's already been extensively researched. No? So i-google nyo lang, lagay nyo lang yung research, yung key terms ng inyong topic na proposed topic in the search engines. No, marami po yan. No, you can try Google Scholar, Academia, ResearchGate, SSRN, ang dami po yan. Mga repositories of researches na nandun lang sila. Check nyo. Now, this is what you look for. Kung marami na pong studies about that, there is no research gap. Kasi marami na pong gumawa ng topic na yon. Ano po, parang baka sabihin ng igasgas na yan, ang dami nang nag-aral yan. Parang whenever I have my college students, no, whenever they want to do their psychology thesis, no, just before they enter their 4th year, lagi may nagpropose, "Sir, I want to study sleep and effect on grades." Sabi ko, siguro inaantok tong batang to, kaya gusto niya yung topic na yun. Nahirapan siya sa mga exams, pagpuyat siya. So, alam mo, maganda yung topic mo, kaso gas-gas na yan eh. Endless, never-ending, napakarami ng topic. Napakarami ng studies na ginawa dyan. There's nothing new that you will discover. I can already predict the result. So sabi ko, you need to find a topic that's medyo bago. Medyo kakaiba. No? It feels a need. Kasi you have to be able to add to the body of knowledge. Ano po? No, yung mga panels ngayon are very, very demanding. Demanding na po, lalo na yung mga bagong lalabas na mga requirements ang CHED ngayon, no? And sabi nga, your research has to really add to the body of knowledge. Hindi pwede puro paulit-ulit na lang just because, no, kaya mong gawin, no? Yun na lang. Baka hindi approve ng panel. Especially if you're doing research for academic purposes, no, masteral. All right. Now, you can also, so what you can do is whatever field you are in, no, whether you are in teaching or whatnot, no, try to think of a topic na baka hindi pa masyadong researched, no. Ayan, no. So think of something that might be interesting in your field and then try to see kung marami na pong researches na nagawa about that particular topic. Okay po. Ayan, so try to think about that, no. Kung meron na po kayo naisip na topic, no, try nyo i-search. Tingnan nyo kung meron. Kung konti lang, baka may research gap pa yan. No? Baka matuwa yung panel, uy, iba to, bago to, kakaiba. Minsan ganun eh. Pag ako po ay nagpa-panel, doon ako natutuwa sa, uy, this is new. I want to know the results of this study. Ako mismo gusto kong malaman kung ano yung resulta. Okay po. So, ayan. Another approach to creating a convincing argument is there a current issue? Meron bang issue? Ayan, no? Hot issue. Okay? So, a current issue can be a problem that you have observed which can lead to a bigger one if it is not addressed. So, try to see, meron ba? Meron bang nangyayari? Something that you have observed na baka, no? It's just brewing and becoming larger and bigger, no? That can be something that you can research. No? All right? So, for example, gaya sa school setting po ulit, no? Cyberbullying is something that we are not aware of. No? Hindi natin alam kung ano yung mga bullying experiences ng mga students natin. Lalo na ngayon, they're all online. No? Baka mas lagana pa ang cyberbullying. No, that is a current issue. You might want to study that. Well, of course, it will always depend on the aims of your school kung ano yung gusto nilang pag-aralan ng graduate student po. Okay po. So, example lang po yan, ano? Okay. So, it is a current and real issue, which could be a good argument for your topic, if that's what you want. Okay? All right. So, try to think about an issue that you have observed around you concerning people, or maybe it concerns the system, no? Yung proseso, no? And try to see baka mamaya merong issue dyan na magandang pag-aralan. Yan. Okay po? All right. So, that's the second approach. All right. So, let's look at a third approach. Is the topic timely? Napapanahon po ba? Yan, no? Yan. So, napapanahon po ba? Gaya po nung meron po akong mga masteral students na ito yung problema nila. Kasi they took so long to finish their masteral thesis. Yung mga topic pala nila, pre-pandemic pa. Ang problema, nag-gather na sila ng data, pre-pandemic pa lang. And then, syempre, pandemic na ngayon. Iba na, bago na yung mundo, wala nang face-to-face classes. No? Wala nang face-to-face interaction, puro online na. Yung basehan po ng research niya ay face-to-face. So, pinagpilitan pa rin yan tapusin. And then, nung nagde-defense na po siya, no, yung naging problema niya sa panel is, teka, pre-pandemic pa po ito. No, sana, binago niya na kasi sabi ng panel sa kanya, irrelevant na yung, yung findings mo wala nang face-to-face And we don't know, babalik pa tayo sa face-to-face, lalo na may mga variants pang ganyan. At matagal mabakunahan ng buong Pilipinas. So we don't know. So parang hindi na timely yung topic nyo po, no? Ang topic niya is absenteeism in the classroom. Naku, patay. Pinaulit sa kanya yung thesis niya. Start from scratch. No? Pati yung topic niya, burado. So, syempre, I don't know kung ano na nangyari sa estudyante yun. Hindi na nagparamdam. So, devastated, no? So, try to make your topic timely. Kailangan pandemic-related, no? Yan. So, it is current, no? Yan. Prevailing social climate should be considered, no? So, right now, the new normal and the pandemic is a very rich, dami-dami mga researches that are being done in all the fields and all areas. Kaya very rich po ang ating pandemic times, no? Okay. So, think of, for example, a human behavior that you have observed na nangyayari nung pandemic lang. At pandemic nyo lang po nakita, hindi nyo naman nakita before. Kasi yun yung something that might be interesting. No? Although this is not education-related, you might want to consider, for example, hoarding. Yan, di ba? Nakakita po tayo ng mga hoarding. Nakakita po tayo ng mga taong hindi nagsa-social distancing, hindi nagmamask unless may police. Ayan, no? So this is something very different. This is something that you can research. Although, of course, it's not education-related. No? It's just an example of behavior that is current, timely po. na pwedeng pag-aralan. Okay, so another thing that we consider, ako kasi when I'm a panelist, this is one of the things that I consider pag may nag-present ng topic. No? Minsan, the researcher does not consider his or her limitations. Po. Ano po ba yung mga factors that could limit the researcher's study? Is the study physically doable? No? Meron akong na-encounter dati. Sabi niya nung dinedefend niya yung proposal niya, "Sir, I want to conduct my research in 20 schools." 20 schools. Sabi ko, sige, 20 schools, pwede. So, ilang taon ang ilalaan mo dyan? Mga 5 years ba? 20 schools, no? I don't know. Is it doable? Diba? Baka naman hindi kailangan 20 schools. 20 schools, lahat ng estudyante in 20 schools. Okay? So, ayan. Will it be too time consuming? No? Baka, kasi tinitingnan din po namin yun when we are panelists. Baka naman maubos ang oras mo. Lahat ng kaklase mo nakagraduate na, ikaw nagde-data gathering ka pa rin. Okay? Will it be too expensive? No? Lalo na yung nakwento ko sa inyo, dami akong pinasirox. No? Ngayon, hindi na kailangan kasi may Google Forms na. No? Pero, of course, sometimes it's still expensive. No? You have to travel, you have to go there, no? Talk to people, etc. Right? Do you have access to the research instrument that you will use? Yan. Lalo na pag quantitative, if your research is quantitative, it is an advantage to you if your instrument is already standardized. No? Standardized na siya. Kinonsider na yung norms. Papaalam ka na lang dun sa may-ari kung pwede mong gamitin. Yun nga lang, madalas. No? So you really have to make sure na papayagan ka. Kasi may kilala ko ganun eh. Hintay na siya ng hintay dun sa permission ng tao na magbibigay nung may-ari ng instrument, no, isang buwan na lumipas, hindi sumagot, no, isang buwan na nasayang sa kanya. So kaya you really need to make sure na yung instrument mo is accessible to you. Baka mamaya kasi iba naman may bayad. Kailangan mong bayaran. Okay? So, ayan. Pag researcher made naman yung instrument mo, validation naman ang problema mo. And sometimes, the school that you are connected with, I mean, the school in which you are studying, baka medyo stick naman ang kanilang validation protocols, no? Kasi minsan mahirap, no? Baka ipag-pilot testing ka pa at kung ano-ano. That becomes a problem then later. Okay? Mahirap gumawa ng sariling instrument. Okay po? And can you get the necessary permissions? Yan. So meron akong isang masteral student, ang gusto niya, mag-i-interview daw siya ng mga junior high school students. Sabi ko, okay yan. Pero ang tanong ko sa kanya, papayagan ka ba ng nanay? Minors any? Baka hindi ka payagan. No? Or, halimbawa, hindi naman minors yan. Papayagan ka ba ng, kung DepEd po kayo, ano po ba, district, division, or kung ano mang level ang kailangan mag-approve? Di ba po? Payagan po ba kayo ng principal? No? So these are all things, practical considerations that you need to think about before you even consider a topic. No? Kaya mo bang gawin? Yan. Kasi kahit kami sa panel, we also consider this. No? Papayagan po ba kayo? Kung mamaya hindi kayo payagan. Okay? So consider your limitations. Kaya try to think about your topic now. Try to see, can you accomplish it? No? Can you afford it? No? Do you have time to do it? No? Can you obtain the research instruments for it? Yan. And will you be permitted to pursue your topic, no? By the participants, your respondents, or whoever will be the one to approve your topic. Yan. So lahat po ito, pagdadaanan nyo po yan, isipin nyo po yan before you even think about whether or not to push through with your topic. Kasi yan, minsan nagkakaproblema po. Okay, so let's now go to a third point that I want to make. No? Why substance matters more than form? Diba narinig na po natin? Form and substance. Substance and form. Ayan. So balikan po uli natin si panel. Now, who will be the one to approve your research proposal? Hindi po ba? So, what do panelists consider? Kasi ang sinishare ko po sa inyo is the point of view of a panelist. Nagpa-panel po ako sa halos lahat ng level. No? Senior high school, may mga research sila. College, no? Masteral, pati sa doctorate, nagpa-panel din po ako. Ayan, no? Ano po ba ang kinoconsider ng panel? Yung definition of terms po ba natin? Yan po ba ang tinitingnan? Is it the significance of the study? No? Very familiar na po. Is it the dates of your related literature? No? Luma ba o bago? Is it the locale of the study kung saan mo gagawin? Is it your statistical treatment kung quantitative po ba yan? No? Is it the spelling, the margins, the font, pagination, no? Alignment, justification? Yan po ba ang tinitingnan ng panel? No? Lahat po yan, even though that's part of the thesis, no? They're just all about form. Form lang po yan. Kung may problema po dyan, kung may mali po dyan, kayang-kayang ayusin. No? Kayang-kayang ayusin. Madali lang ayusin yan eh. Hindi nare-reject ang proposal because of this. Because of spelling. No? Hindi naman po siguro because of margins. Ano po? Because of the definition of terms, hindi naman nare-reject yun. Sasabihin lang ng panel sa'yo, pakiayos ito, pakiayos yan, pagandahin natin to, gawin natin mas bago yung related literature. Pero hindi re-reject ang topic mo because of that. No? Form lang po yan eh. What matters is substance. Ito po yung substance. Ito po yung share ko sa inyo na tinitingnan po namin as panelists. No? It is this. Tingnan po nila, when you submit your research proposal, they go directly. No? Kami pala, we go directly to the statement of the problem. No? And then, we look at how you're going to gather your data. Bakit? Kasi the way by which you will answer your statement with the problem is your data gathering method. Your data gathering method will provide an answer to your statement of the problem. Kaya mahalaga po. And lastly, tinitingnan po namin yung theory or conceptual framework. Yan. Itong tatlong to, tinitingnan namin kung may connect sa isa't isa. Tinitingnan po namin kung sila ay aligned. Yan po ang sikreto. Yan po ang sikreto para makapasa po sa defense. No? Sa proposal defense. Kailangan aligned yung tatlong yan. Kasi pag may problema sa isa dyan, walang alignment, no? Why is your data gathering method like this? Pag nakarinig ka na ng ganong tanong, nako, may nakita na silang misalignment. Why is this your theory? Nako, may nakita na silang misalignment. Because your theory is what you're testing. Remember this, it's your theory is what you are testing. Although the statement of the problem drives your research, it will guide your research. Your statement of the problem is always based on a theory. And it's the theory that you are testing. Whether or not it applies to this situation. And then, yung data gathering method natin, kailangan, no, masasagot niya yung katanungan. Yung research questions po natin. So ito po yung tinitingnan ng panel. It's not the form, it's the substance. And if they can see that they are aligned, no? Yan, papasa na yan. Ayusin lang ng konti, pero you can proceed with your research. So let's keep this in mind, itong tatlong ito. Okay po, alright. So, let's now proceed to an example of alignment. Ibigyan ko po kayo ng examples. Very basic lang po ito ha. Very basic lang. For example, no, tingnan natin ulit yung tatlo. Ang gusto ko malaman, very simple lang po. You have two variables. No? Student sense of self-efficacy. Ano ba yung self-efficacy? Yung feeling mo na, kaya ko ba to? Kaya ko to? Hindi ko kaya. And grades niya. So, parang obvious na, no? Siguro pag feeling niya, kaya niya, no? Mataas grades niya. No? Yung mga hindi kaya, sila yung mababa grades. No? Sometimes it's intuitive. Pero we cannot just rely on that. Kaya nga tayo nagre-research. No? So what do? You get a self-efficacy instrument. That's your data gathering method. Give it to the students. At the same time, obtain their grades. No? And then you correlate. No? Pearson-R correlation. Correlate po natin ang self-efficacy scores ng mga estudyante and their academic performance. Di ba po? Yan po ang ating data gathering, which is aligned to the statement of the problem. And of course, we use the self-efficacy theory. No? So, very basic lang po to. Simple lang. No? We don't use any other theory kasi self-efficacy na po yung ating mini-measure. No? The instruments that we use are always based on a theory. Kaya maganda po talaga na yung instrument na gagamitin po natin ay standardized na. Kasi may theoretical basis na po yan eh. So these are aligned. Okay, aligned po yan. Okay, let's go to another tip that I want to share with you. Appreciating each component of your research as part of a whole. Yan, minsan nakakalimutan po natin to eh. Naalala niyo po ba yung scientific method? Anong grade po ba tinuturo yan? Grade 3? Grade 2? Hindi ko na alam. Hindi ako nagtuturo ng elementary eh. No? Pero parang naalala ko, grade 2 pa lang may mga experiment na kami. No? Ayan, the scientific method. Bakit ko po nabanggit yan? Kasi ito po yung scientific method, di ba? No? Sometimes in some websites or some books, iba-iba yung nakasulat. No? Pero more or less, ito yung gist ng scientific method, di ba? Identify the problem, then formulate a hypothesis. Tanong mo, sagot mo. What is already known, ano ba yung alam natin tungkol dyan sa bagay na yan? No? Gather the data, no? Analyze the data, and draw conclusions. Sometimes meron pang choose a research methodology. No? Okay, may mga ganun pa minsan. No? Pero hindi nyo po ba napansin, yung mga yan, yung mga steps na yan ng scientific method, ay chapters ng thesis. They are just the chapters of the thesis. Hindi niyo po ba napansin yun? They are just the chapters of the thesis. The chapters of the thesis are just a manifestation, the embodiment of the scientific method. Kaya wag po natin kakalimutan yun. Kaya bakit pa may chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Scientific method yan. Yun po yun. Hindi po pwede mawala yan. Kasi you want your research to be scientific, you have to follow this. So, yun lang po yun, ano? So, para lang ma-appreciate, ay, ganun pala yun. Kaya pala may ganito, ganyan, ganon. It's the scientific method. We are following it. No? We want our research to be scientific. No? Alam niyo ang Pilipinas, when compared to other countries, lalo na yung neighboring countries natin, kulela tayo sa research. And that tells us that scientific knowledge is not really valued in our country. And because of that, siguro, that's the reason why naniniwala tayo sa fake news. Naniniwala tayo sa kung ano-ano lang. Di ba po? And that's the sad reality. Naalala ko yung ang cure sa COVID ay saging. Naalala niyo yun? Tapos ang daming bumili ng saging. Tapos nang bumibili ako ng saging, doble presyo. Sabi ko, bakit doble presyo? Eh, daming bumibili ng saging. So, hindi ako makabili ng saging kasi inuubos na ng lahat ng tao yung saging. No, nagdoble pa yung presyo. So, why are we not valuing scientific knowledge? No? Saging, fake news. Yan. Kaya we need to have a research culture. Eh. A research culture will make sure that we Filipinos will value scientific knowledge more. Ano po? Huwag po tayo basta-basta naniniwala unless it's science-based. Yan. Okay. So, how and why mistakes are made and what to do to avoid them. So, ito po yung mga usual mistakes, stumbling blocks po when we are considering our research proposal. Ano po yung mga yon? So, we first have to understand the quantitative approach, no? Ano yung quantitative? From the root word quantity, we deal with numbers, values. Ano po? We measure, no? Variables that are measurable. Yan. It involves quantifiable or measurable observations. So, always consider something that is measurable if you're using the quantitative approach. No? It involves at least 2 variables para medyo maganda. Pag 1 variable lang kasi parang, di ba, parang survey lang eh. No? Parang tinanong ko, ano mas popular, Jollibee o McDo? Mag-survey ka ako. Sige, may survey ka. Alam mo na mas popular si ganito, si ganyan. Eh, survey lang yan. No? You don't know why that fast food chain is more popular. You just know it is, but you don't know why. Di ba? Wala po tayong second variable eh. Okay? It asks a question whether one variable influences the other. So more or less, ganyan po ang paradigm ng quantitative. Pagdating po sa qualitative, no? And this is a very complicated issue. Itong mga complicated topic, no? Kaya it's an entire webinar on its own eh. Na nakaraan, isa po yan sa mga webinars na binigay ko. It involves the commonality of an experience. It is non-quantifiable. No? Commonality requires an inclusion criteria for your participants. No? Kasi when you want commonality of experience, the people that you are investigating should have commonality of characteristics also. No? Kaya may inclusion criteria po tayo lagi. Is it the same age group? Is it the same profession, same gender, same culture, etc.? You have to establish that first before you start gathering your data, before you start interviewing. Ano po? Ayan. Choosing the appropriate qualitative method. Ang dami po, no? So many possible qualitative methods. Yan. Okay po. Now, when to use qualitative and quantitative? Sometimes this is the confusion. So we need to clarify this para guided po tayo. Yan, no? Consider a new experience shared by a group of people. No? Merong ano ba tawag dyan? Cliff jumping. Hindi skydiving yan eh. Cliff jumping. Po, naka-parachute po yung mga yan. Hindi po yan mga nagpapakamatay. May suot po silang parachute. Now, this could be a new experience worth studying. Pero, what if, no, you want to find out what the experience is like? No, you want to find out, nakakatakot ba, boring ba, exciting ba? Ano ba ang pwede natin i-assume sa kanila? No? No? Can I go quantitative and measure their level of fear? Kasi kung ikaw yung nakakita ng picture, nakakatakot ah. Baka takot sila. Ano po? Di ba? Kasi nakakatakot ka. Ako, hindi ko gagawin yan. Kung ikaw yung nakakita niyan, baka isipin mo, hindi mo gagawin yan. So, nakakatakot. So, gusto mo ba mag-quantitative? You want to measure their level of fear. Ito yung problema. I'm only assuming that they're afraid. Assumption ko lang yon. It's a new experience, pero assumption ko lang yon. Eh, what if they're not afraid? Kaya nga nila ginawa yan eh. And then I'm going to measure their level of fear. I'm just making an assumption that could be false. Di ba po? What if lumabas sa fear nila, zero lahat? Fear, bakit? Eh, kaya nga nila ginawa eh. Di ba? Baka gusto ko munang i-explore yung experience. Baka gusto ko muna mag-qualitative. No? And to find out kung ano yung naramdaman nila, baka kailangan ko silang interviewin muna. And come up with common themes of their experience. Baka ibang ma-discover ko. Baka none of them experience fear. No? Kasi qualitative is exploratory, lalo na pag new experience. That's why when you choose a qualitative topic, make sure that it is a relatively new experience. Ano po? A relatively new experience. Kaya ngayon, uso ngayon na na-encounter ko na meron akong advisee sa masteral. Ang gusto niya i-explore is the experiences of a COVID survivor. Sabi ko, okay yan, that's new. You want to explore that? Good. Diba? Kasi we want to find out ano yung common themes of their experience. No? I can only assume what they went through. Diba? I do not know. I cannot possibly know. No? Ayan. So, explore muna natin yung experience if it's a new experience. Apo? What if I find out na ang common theme pala is not fear, no? I find out the common theme is excitement. O, diba? So, why measure fear? Let's measure excitement. And let's compare it to the excitement of other people, no? Excitement pag sila ay nag-Enchanted Kingdom. Diba po? Ibang classic excitement po yun. Pero we can compare. No? Pwede na ngayon tayo mag-quantitative. Diba? So, qualitative and then quantitative. Ayan. Alright. So, yun lang po, no? Para lang ma-distinguish po natin. Kailan ginagamit ang qualitative? Kailan ginagamit ang quantitative? Alright. So, where did your topic idea come from? That's one of the things that can be a stumbling block, no? No? Balikan po natin yung scientific method, no? The first step is identify the problem. Pero, saan po ba galing yung problem? Siyempre, it came from your observation. Kaya minsan tatanungin ng panel yan, bakit mo naisip yung iyong topic? Kasi na-observe ko po. Yan. Di ba na-observe ko na problema to? O, di ba? Ang gandang argument doon. Eh, paano kung ang sagot mo eh, 'di ba? Tanungin ka, oh, why did you choose your topic? Wala lang, naisip ko lang, interesting eh. baka pwedeng pag-aralan, baka pumasa na topic 'to. No, that becomes a problem later, no? Relevance nung yung topic eh hindi mo pala na-observe, 'di ba? Di basag ka kaagad pag sinabi sa'yo ng panel 'yon, no? All right. So, what benefit can be derived from the findings of your study? This is one of the things that the panel also asks. Ano ang use niya when we come up with the discoveries, no? Will your findings be useful? No? Kasi yan, mahalaga po yan, no? All knowledge has to have some useful value. May application, may gamit, no? Yan. Kaya this is where significance of the study comes from, no? Sino ang makikinabang sa ating findings kung matapos po natin yung ating research. Alright. So, another possible source of stumbling blocks or mistakes, doing research for the sake of compliance, required kailangan para makagraduate, para magkaroon ng MA. No? Minsan, that becomes the real big problem. No? Kasi ang mindset mo, compliance lang. Di ba po? This may lead to a lack of imagination kasi nag-iisa topic ko, ito na lang, sige na, baka lang matapos na. Nararamdaman po ng panel yun. Nakita nila yun kasi they see, bakit ganito tong topic na to? Parang hindi nila magets or bakit parang gas-gas na or something. No? There is a lack of imagination. Yan. Pag compliance lang po ang mindset natin, sometimes it leads to replication. Maghahanap ka ng thesis. Uy, mataas ang grade itong thesis na to. Gayahin ko kaya. Replicate ko na lang. Ibahin ko lang yung local of the study. No? So parang, yeah, pwede. Pero sugal yun. Baka mamaya hindi naman. Baka mamaya alam ng panel yung ginagaya mong study. Di patay. Di ba? I've read this study before. Ako nag-panel dito sa topic na ito Parang last year may gumawa nito eh. Ayan, tapos pag tinignan niya yung references, bibliography, dito yun. Ito yung topic na to. Patay, replication pala. It may also lead to an over-reliance on others. What do you mean by over-reliance? Pag compliance kasi minsan, yung marami nagme-message Sir, ano magandang topic? Ano magandang topic, sir? And then ako, minsan I fall into that trap kasi gusto ko silang tulungan. So, bigyan ko sila ng topic. Ito, maganda tong topic na to kasi bago to, timely, ganyan, pandemic-related. Okay, dito siya, natulungan ko siya. Mamaya nag-message, Sir, anong data gathering method ko? Ay, nako, patay na. Inasa na sa akin lahat. Mamaya sa akin na rin pagawa. No? Nagkaroon na ng dependence sa akin. Kasi ang mindset niya, compliance lang. Gusto lang niya matapos. So, naghanap ngayon siya ng taong aasahan niya. Mahirap yung ganon. Kasi your heart is not into it. No? Compliance na nga, umasa ka pa sa iba. Your heart is not into it. Mararamdaman ng panel yon. Promise. No? Kasi kita nila doon sa nagde-defense. Kung the person is passionate about the topic. Ano po? Ayan. Alam niya, share ko lang po na one time nagpa-panel ako tapos merong isang nagde-defense. Di ko na sabihin kung saan school kasi nalungkot ako nung nagde-defense siya and then I asked the person defending, how did you choose your participants? Hindi niya masagot. Ang ginawa niya, binuksan niya yung manuscript na hard copy. Hinahanap niya doon kung paano niya pinili yung participants. Sabi ko, oh no, bakit kailangan niyang hanapin doon sa thesis kung paano niya pinili yung participants niya? Isa lang ang naisip namin ng panel. Hindi siya yung gumawa. Pinagawa niya. When you are the one who made your research, you can answer any question. But if you're not the one, no, any question will be a source of worry for you. Yun yung problema mo. No, when you rely on someone else to do it. Di ba po? Kaya hindi ko po ina-encourage. Marami dyan na nag-o-offer. Ako nagagawa. No? Para lang makatapos ka na. Ako, delikado po yun. Pag defense, dun kayo mahalata ng panel. Yung mga panel kasi they've been paneling for years and years and years. They know the science. Kaya hindi ko po sinasuggest. Alright, so ayan. Okay po, no? Another point that I want to discuss is I will be sharing with you an innovative and smart approach to writing your research proposal. No? Kakaiba po ito. Ganito po. True story of mine. Yan, my personal experience na naman. No? Okay, so I discovered an instrument that measures stress. Again, this was years back. Sabi ko, ganda to. Instrument on stress, no? Free access. Sabi, you can use it without permissions. Free access na siya eh. Nandiyan lang siya sa online, no? You just have to cite the person. So may nakita akong ganito. The Holmes-Rahe Life Stress Inventory. Yan. Medyo matagal na siya pero ginagamit pa rin. And then what? I discovered another instrument, no? About internet addiction. No? Ayan, no? Ito po yung na-discover ko. Another free access instrument na standardized na po itong dalawa. Validated na. Wala nang problema. So, anong ginawa ko? Sabi ko, may kinalaman kaya ang stress at internet addiction? Yung gumagamit ba sa internet madalas? Kaya ba sila gumagamit dahil sa stress? Stress sila. Kaya na-addict sila sa internet, sa Facebook, sa YouTube, sa kung ano-ano pa dyan. Diba? Dami-dami na. Dami-dami nang pwedeng gawin. No? So that was my curiosity na naman. No? Sabi ko, is there a relationship between stress and internet addiction? So sabi ko, sige nga, tingnan natin. Since andito na naman yung mga instrument na to. No? Open access naman, free access. I can use it. I just have to cite it. So anong ginawa? Ginawa ko. Naghanap ako mga estudyante. No? Sabi ko, bigay ko nga ito sa mga estudyante. So ganoon na naman ako. Pasirok sa naman, binigay ko sa mga estudyante. No? And then what happened? When I got the data, I analyzed it. I made the conclusions. Ano nangyari? So, sinulat ko, kinompile ko po yan. Hindi lang chapter 1 to 3, tinapos ko hanggang dulo. And then what? I submitted. Meron po ako nakitang call for papers. No? And sabi ko, submit ko kaya. Submit ko to. Sinabit ko yung aking findings. Kasi may na-discover ako, may correlation between stress and internet addiction. Ibig sabihin, yung mga taong stressed, mas may tendency silang ma-addict sa internet, sa Facebook, social media, and all that. No? Sabi ko, magandang findings to. So, sinabit ko dun sa isang journal na nag-call for papers. And, natutuwa ako kasi na-publish din siya. Just by submitting it to them, I got another published research. Stress and internet addiction among sophomore college. Sophomore naman kasi kanina first year. Ayan, no? Para maiba naman. So, mahalata, puro first year ang aking sinasurvey. So, ayan, because of that. So, ano po yung novel approach ko? Ano po yung innovative and smart approach ko? Ang ginawa ko po is, I started with the instruments. Kasi remember, the instruments are already based on theory. No? Pag standardized na po yan, they're made based on a theory already. So in this case, I have two theories, no? Internet addiction and stress. No? Both of them have theories. You can have more than one theory naman kasi, no? As long as they relate to one another. So my innovative and smart approach, pang quanti lang po ito, qualitative kasi ibang-iba talaga eh. So I began with the instruments, no? Because they are based on theories, no? And later, saka na lang lumabas yung aking statement of the problem, sinulat ko yung ibang chapters, ano po? And then yun, nagkaroon po ako ng research which was accepted internationally again. No? Just because of curiosity na naman po. So, yun po ang aking, I don't know if you will be able to benefit from that, from my personal experience. So, pero yun po yung na-experience ko. At again, curiosity lang. So, wala naman nagsabi sa akin gawin ko. Pero at least my discovery is now, no, online for everyone to benefit from. Yun po ang maganda sa research. People can benefit from it because it is published. Po. Kasi mga thesis na nandiyan lang sa library ng school, wala, makakabasa lang yan. Yung mga pupunta sa library. Eh, ngayon, hindi naman tayo makapunta sa library. Kaya the thesis is there. No? Nandun lang siya. No? Nagkakaroon ng cobwebs. No? Nobody's reading them. Pero if it's online, it's published, the whole world can benefit from your findings. Masasite ka pa nila. So that's my innovative and smart approach. Ayan. So again, alignment agad. Okay, so another personal experience. So I hope okay lang po na nag-share ako sa inyo. No, sabi ko nung una lumabas ang K-12 ng DepEd, di ba po? Minsan nakakalungkot yung mga inabutan ng K-12, no? Kasi, di ba, dapat graduate na sila after 4th year high school, no? College na agad. Hindi, may nadagdag na 2 years. Pero nagustuhan ko sa grade 11, 12 kasi may research na. Qualitative and quantitative. And that, I'm hoping that the research subjects in grade 11 and grade 12 will help foster the scientific mindedness of our people. Kasi doon ang kulang eh. Kaya kung ano-ano pinaniniwalaan nating fake news because we are not research-oriented. No, hindi pa ganun ka-oriented tayo. Kaya madali tayo mabola ng mga kung ano-anong mga sineshare sa social media. So what was I curious about now? No, a few years back, start pa lang yan. May mga estudyante kasi na hindi nabutan ng K-12 so nakapasok na ng college. And then may mga estudyante naman na inabutan kaya nag-grade 11, grade 12 sila. Pero there was a time, magkaedad yan. May mga first year, second year college tayo at grade 11, grade 12 tayo. Sabay, pareho edad. Yan, sipin nyo yan, nakakatuwa. No? The same age, pero magkaiba po ang kanilang educational level. So, when it was new, ayan, mga grade 11, saka mga first year college, no? Sabi ko, ano kaya? Pareho lang kaya sila? Ano kaya? May pagkakaiba po kaya sila? Sabi ko, baka merong pagkakaiba ang kanilang behavior or pareho lang. Kasi pareho lang naman na edad eh. No? Grade 11, first year college. Noong panahon na yan, nagsabay. Yan. Since they were both practically the same age, I was expecting that their classroom behavior would not be that different. Kasi tuturo din ako ng senior high school. Same school. Alam niyo, nakita ko ibang-iba ang behavior ng senior high school sa college. But they were the same age. Anyari? Bakit ganun? Pareho lang ng edad nila, pareho doon ng school. Pero sabi ko, ano kayang dahilan kung bakit iba ang kanilang behavior? Ang gugulo ng mga grade 11. No? Pero mga first year college, tahimik sa klase. No? So sabi ko, ano kaya yung reason kung bakit nagkaiba? Was it their self-esteem? Naisip ko lang, sabi ko, self-esteem. Baka. Tingnan natin. And then, nakahanap ako ng self-esteem questionnaire. No? Ginawa ko, binigay ko na naman doon sa mga grade 11, binigay ko rin sa mga first year college na. Iba-ibang kurso na naman, iba-ibang strand, iba-ibang kurso. Ang dami ko na namang respondent. No? Almost 1,000 na naman. And then, anong ginawa ko? No? T-test lang. Test of significant difference kung iba yung self-esteem ng grade 11 at ng mga first year college, no, who are the same age. Ano nangyari? They were different from each other. Ibang-ibang self-esteem. Ang taas ng self-esteem ng mga college students. Baba ng self-esteem ng mga grade 11. Compare that to each other. And it was significant. Hindi lang mean, no? T-test, test of significance. Sabi ko, iba talaga, no? Sabi ko, ano kaya ang dahilan? Ibig sabihin, the mere label, no, ako, grade 11. Grade 11 ako. Ako, college student ako. May effect sa kanila. Yung label na grade 11 ako. College student ako. Merong epekto yon. So that was my theory. Yung ginawan ko ng explanation. Their self-esteem is different. That's why their behavior is different. Oh, yan. So, ginawa ko na naman ng research yun. And then I posted it online for people to benefit from. Yan. No? Okay? So, yun. And another thing that made me curious, last year lang po ito. Nung si Yorme, si Isko Moreno, Mayor of Manila, No, wala pang vaccine nun. Meron lang COVID test na yung mga rapid test na ganyan. Nagpa-free rapid testing siya last year. Naalala niyo po yon? Ang daming pumunta kahit hindi mga taga Manila. Nagsipuntahan, no? Drive-thru pa. Alam mo, fast food drive-thru COVID test. And then, alam niyo, napansin ko, may mga di ba, may exit interview. May mga nagpa-test pala na wala naman pala na-experience na symptom. No? Noong time na yun, hindi pa natin masyado nagigets yung asymptomatic. Walang mga symptom, pero nagpa-free test. Pero meron naman tayong mga kilala na sa paligid natin ay inuubo, nilalagnat, sinisipon, sore throat. Hindi naman nagpapatest. So sabi ko, ano kaya ang dahilan kung bakit may mga taong wala naman symptoms, nagpapatest, pero may mga taong may symptoms, ayaw magpatest? Curious na naman ako. Sabi ko, wala akong magawa. Gawa ko na. This time, Google Forms na kasi siyempre, alam mo, mamigay ako ng mga questionnaire dyan, ano? So, Google Forms. Yan, gumawa ako ng Google. Kung lang ako ng mga volunteers, pinost ko lang, kahit sino. So, siyempre, no sampling technique, no convenient sampling lang. No? And then what? Sabi ko, kasi contradiction in behavior, maybe contradiction in behavior yan. Di ba pag may symptom ka, dapat magpa-test ka. Baliktad Yung walang symptom yung nagpa-test. Sabi ko, gawa ko ng Google Forms, hindi pala, Microsoft Office Forms, no? And then, yun nga, gumawa ako ng mga reasons ba't sila magpapatest, reasons ba't hindi nagpapatest. Gumawa lang ako ng researcher-made questionnaire ko. I just wanted to know the answer. And I posted it around 4 days online. May mga 147 na sumagot. Halo-halo sila. Iba-ibang age groups, iba-ibang academic qualifications, no? May married, may single, may employed, unemployed, no? Lahat ng dimensions. Kinompare ko po lahat yon, no? Sabi ko, may time ako. Kasi, syempre, pandemic. Yeah, I posted the results online na naman. And then, you know what happened after I posted it online? May nakakita po. May nakakita mula University of Texas States. Natuwa siya sa research ko. Hiningi niya sa akin yung aking research instrument. Kasi gagawa din daw sila ng ganong survey sa lugar nila. You never know what will happen when you do research. You never know what exposure that you can get, and you never know what possible opportunities come your way when you are published. Ano po? Kaya yung nakakatuwa when I did this. Sabi ko, pati isang university sa United States natuwa sa research ko. Ayan. So, yun lang. Share ko lang po. Sana ma-inspire po kayo, no? Yan. So, yun lang po. Marami pong salamat, no, sa pakikinig. So, this ends my talk on writing a research proposal. So, thank you very much. Yan. So, tingnan natin kung nakabalik na po si Sir Mark. I'm hoping na nakabalik na po siya. Okay, andito na po ba si Sir Mark? Parang nawawala pa rin. Ayan,
I'm back, Sir
Mark. Ayun, okay. Hi, Sir Mark. Welcome back po. Pasensya na po. I started para hindi sila mainip.
So, pasensya na po talaga. Medyo intermittent yung internet connection ko today. And luckily, I'm all alone in the center. Yung marketing officer namin, remote din siyang magtrabaho. Anyways, we're giving you few minutes, 10 minutes to ask questions to Dr. Fabella. The floor is now open for your questions. You might be currently writing your thesis or you're about to write your research proposal. This is the perfect time to ask Dr. Fabella. Ayan, free consultation po to ng 10 minutes. Ayan. Magtanong na po kayo. Maraming salamat po sa mga bagong estudyante namin today. I always tell this every week that I introduce Dr. Fabella. He makes research teaching a very light and to the point na if you have been shutting your door towards research writing, he can actually make you back into the box and write again. Ayun, so hopefully you could still be with us by next week. Today is the kickoff, as I've told you earlier. Next week would be chapter 1. How to write effectively chapter. Especially po, I think you have to grab the chance kasi Dr. Fabella is a panelist. Alam niya kung ano yung hahanapin ng isang panelist. So he will walk us through how to effectively write introduction, statement of the problem, research objective, conceptual framework, what else? Definition of terms, and so on and so forth. Anything that you can see in chapter 1 will be discussed on Sunday next week. Sir Irvin. Sabi ni Sir Irvin. Sir Irvin, sir, kilala niyo siya doon. Regular student natin si Sir Irvin. Sir Irvin, teacher yan eh. So, sabi ni, sir, basahin ko lang yung mga, ayan, sabi ni Ma'am Emily, very inspiring daw. Si Ma'am Emily, Ma'am, maayos na yata yung email ad natin ngayon kasi na-receive nyo na kaagad yung invitation. Nataranta yung aming marketing office nung nakaraan. Pasensya na po. Sabi ko, kaya nung the last time ako na yung nag-reply, sabi ko because Ma'am Emily is our regular student. So,
No
yun.
problem, sir.
Si Ma'am Cathy, thank you Ma'am Cathy. Si Ma'am Virginia, thank you Ma'am. Nagiging regular student na natin si Ma'am Virginia. Si Professor Gerard, yeah, inspiring talk, Dr. Fabella, thank you. Taga-Ilocos yata si Professor Gerard eh. Ayan. Si Ma'am Glenda. Si Ma'am Glenda yata I think she teaches in UP. Ayan. Ma'am Glenda, thank you so much. Ayan. Sa mga bago po, to our new students, again, for the end time, I'm very, very sorry for the inconvenience a while ago. But hopefully, if you see us again next week, we'll see a point, we'll see that we'll have plan C, plan D, and all. Meron tanong si Sir Irvin. Sabi niya, medyo mahaba to sir, siguro nabasa mo na. Sabi niya, I have a very long topic, sir. Can you shorten this daw? Acceptability of a pilot implemented grading platform among faculty and adult learners for competency-based training and teaching. Haba na sir, parang.
Ay, sige po. Let's try to... para sa ano po ba yan? Is that for academic requirement or is that action research po sa sa DepEd po ba? Yun po yung parang nabanggit niyo po yata last time. Ano po? Tama po ba, Sir Irvin?
Ibalik mo.
Ayun. So, action research nga po.
Sorry.
Oo. Action research nga siya. Alam niyo po, gaya po na nasabi ko last time, yung ano po ba tinatanong niyo, kung okay lang po ba yung title niyo? Medyo mahaba po yung title, pero ang mahalaga po kasi is whether or not yan yung acceptable format ng title po ninyo sa inyong school or sa inyong district or division or kung ano man. No? Kasi alam niyo po, iba-iba po ang mga standards, no? Kahit kada school, iba-iba rin ang standards. Kaya minsan, iba-iba. Talagang you have to cater it to the standards of the particular institution you are submitting to or the research office that will approve it. No? Pero personally, I don't have any problem with your title as long as you can explain it well. No? Kasi ako, since hindi naman ako technology field, I'm curious because I don't understand it. So what is the technology acceptance model? I'm curious. I want to find out. Ano kaya yun? Ano kaya yung ginagawa ni Sir Irvin na application ba yan? Or computer program ba yan? Or gadget ba yan? So, di ba? Makes me curious, ano? So if something catches your curiosity, it's already an advantage. Advantage na po yan sa kung sino man yung mag-approve. No? Sabi nga po natin, novel, innovative, no? Lalo na yan, mayroon pang use, magagamit talaga kasi may application. So I think it's a very well thought out. No? Baka sabihin lang ng mag-approve is medyo mahaba yung title. No? Pero I think you know what you're doing, Sir Irvin eh. Field mo po yan. Ayan. Okay, so I hope nakatulong po yun, ano?
All right. Thank you, Doc. Sir, isa-isahin ko na lang, baka nahihiya silang magtanong. Sabi ni Sir, meron din daw siyang research work, school-based action research. And he's currently struggling with statistics analysis, although his title has been approved by Division Office, DO, Quezon City. Sir Ram, do you have a question with Dr. Fabe? Sir, do you have a comment with Sir Amado's point?
Sayang na, hindi natin kasama si Sir Amado na nag-action research webinar po tayo. Yeah, kasi
April 28. Yeah.
Oh, I need to see kasi kung ano yung nagiging problema. What is your research design? And then we will find out kung ano po yung pinaka-appropriate na statistical treatment kasi I cannot guess kung ano po yung problem. Is it the formula? Is it the data? Is it your research design? Dami kasi pwedeng source ng challenge when it comes to application na po ng statistical treatment. Kaya, ayun. Kung masasagot nyo po yung mga tanong na yun, no? Research design, no? Is it your data? I will be able to better answer your question po.
Thank you, sir. See, Sir Amado, you missed our action research workshop last April 28. Pero now, at least you're part already of our center. We'll be sending you invites. I think sometime in June, babalik namin yung action research. Tapusin lang namin yung research article kasi mahalaga yon. Kasi ang magandang target ng bawat research for publication purposes, yung mga research article natin, journals. Yun. I think that's the end goal, no, sir, Dr. Fabella, that our researchers should not only find their way into our dusty libraries, but it would better to be published online. Marami na eh. Marami ng venues or platforms. Sabi ni Ms. Shannon, thank you, Doc. I learned a lot po. Wow, thank you po, Ms. Shannon. I-disclose ko sana kung sino si Ms. Shannon kaso for data privacy purposes. But when she registered, I checked on her profile. Sabi ko, kasi binigay sa akin ng marketing officer. Mukhang siya nga. I'm a fan, ma'am. Ayan. So sabi na, what can you advise for those who are, si Ma'am Shannon muna tayo. Thank you, Doc. I learned a lot po. What can you advise for those who are planning to do a self-constructed questionnaire?
Okay, if you're going to start from scratch, meaning you want to come up with your own psychological construct, kasi yung mga self-esteem, mga ganyan, no, mga grit, mga ano yan eh, mga psychological construct yan na in-invent lang natin. We don't even know if it really exists, no? But it's just there and you can measure it. No, nakagawa po tayo ng instrument. If it's a new psychological construct po, ang suggestion ko po is mag-qualitative po muna tayo to explore the dimensions of that particular construct that you are hoping to measure with your questionnaire. Ang binibigay ko example po dyan sa mga estudyante ko, when I start off talking about making questionnaires, no, and measuring, ang lagi kong tinatanong, can you measure love? Sabi ng mga estudyante, sir, hindi po. You cannot measure love. Sabihin nila lahat yan, ano? Mga college students, mga psychology students. Sabihin ko, ano ba sa inyo ang signs ng love? Sir, niyan, giving time. Sir, niyan, being concerned. Sir, niyan, being faithful. No, effort and all that. Oh, you've just given me dimensions, no? If I can treat your entire class as my focus group, you have already given me domains and dimensions. So now I have domains and dimensions that can measure love. Sukatin niyo yung effort ng boyfriend mo, girlfriend mo, jowa mo. Rate mo 1 to 5 Likert scale, no? Yung yung kanyang time availability, o rate mo na naman 1 to 5 Likert scale. Yung yung kanyang sweetness o concern, rate mo ulit 1 to 5. After you've listed all the domains of love na sa inyo rin ang galing, you can now measure love. Di ba po? And noong una sabi nyo, hindi nyo kayang sukatin. Kayang sukatin. Lahat ng bagay kayang sukatin. You just need to discover the dimensions. Doon po papasok muna ang qualitative. Ngayon po ang advice ko sa inyo, kung hindi nyo pa po alam kung ano yung inyong susukatin. Pero, kung alam nyo na yung susukatin ninyo, you're just going to construct your own questionnaire. Ang suggestion ko po is, if there are already questionnaires out there that measure the same construct, no? What you do is, you create your own, and meron tinatawag na Cronbach Alpha, no? You administer your questionnaire, administer the standardized questionnaire and your questionnaire. Tingnan nyo kung kunwari lang po, nag-invento po kayo ng questionnaire on self-esteem. Ang gawin nyo po, kuha kayo ng standardized questionnaire ng self-esteem, pareho nyo ibigay sa inyong sample students. Like, for example, you have 100 students, bigay nyo parehong questionnaire. And kailangan ganito po ang mangyari. Yung mga mataas ang self-esteem do sa standardized questionnaire, kailangan mataas din ang score sa inyong researcher-made questionnaire. Kasi pag hindi, sabihin, it does not measure self-esteem. Ganun po ang, that's how you prove kung talagang nag-work yung panibago yung questionnaire. You use a standardized one. Dapat yung mataas sa self-esteem do sa standardized, mataas din ang self-esteem sa inyo, sa questionnaire na ginawa ninyo. Kung mababa ang self-esteem niyo doon sa standardized, dapat mababa din ang self-esteem niyo sa ginawa ninyo. That's how you create your own questionnaire. Yun nga lang, madugo po yun. Hindi po yun madali. Then if you're just after content validation, no, it's not standardized. It's just for the sake of being able to answer your question. Meron din pong tinatawag na content validation. That's where you get 3 experts, no, sometimes more than that, depende sa school. So, marami pong marami pong levels, no. Yung question nyo po, actually, medyo malalim po yan. That can actually be another webinar para lang dyan, how to create your own instrument. Kaya napaka-rich po talaga ng field of research. I hope I answered your question, Ma'am Shannon. Dami na palang sumunod.
We'll take note of that, Dr. Fabella. Mag-offer na tayo na. Ma'am Shannon, did Dr. Fabella able to answer your question? Ayan. Hopefully po. Ayan. And then, balikan ko lang yung ibang tanong, sir. Ayan. Hopefully, Ma'am Shannon, you can attend you miss also our back-to-back lecture, training on quantitative and qualitative. Dr. Fabella had a separate lectures on those. But again, since next week po would be the kickoff, today, next week po, the part 2 of our research writing series. Actually, it's no longer a series, but it's a refresher course, full-blown, kasi dadaanan nyo po lahat. Chapter 1, 2, 3, and the rest. So hopefully, makakasama pa rin po namin kayo next week. Huwag po kayo makulitan sa aming marketing officer pag magsisend sa inyo ng mga invitation. Another one, sabi dito, si Ma'am Cathy, can we make a research kahit hindi na po student or taking masters? Yes, ma'am. I think yes. Tapos tumatanggap pa rin yata yung mga publication ng research. Tama ba ako, Sir Doc Fabella?
Yes po. You just need to be connected to an academic institution kasi tinitingnan din po nila kung saan po kayo connected. For example, Ma'am Cathy, if you are a teacher or a professor at an institution, when you just want to come up with a research on your own, you have to state that you are a faculty of a particular institution. Kasi pag hindi, hindi nila tinatanggap eh. No, kailangan meron po kayong academic affiliation po.
Ayun. So whether you're a teacher or a master's student, I think can be, no, Doc? Ayun. Thank you daw po, sabi ni Miss Shannon. Next. Buti na lang naglaan tayo ng oras para dito, Doc. Marami silang tanong. Ako kasi, on my experience also, I'm currently working on one paper. Although medyo matagal na akong wala sa graduate studies. I'm working on language. Kasi 'di ba puro na tayo ngayon mga same, yung same may D na, may T, yung canceled may T, may D na. So I'm attempting to answer to what extent these digital languages can be used in formal writing, because essay writing is very formal. To what extent this again digital, because the massive proliferation of words such as samed, cancelled, China oil, these are embraced too much by the society. But to what extent can this be used in formal languages, especially in essay writing? So I'm working on that. Naisip ko lang din po yan habang traffic sa Mindanao Avenue, since ako po ay taga North Caloocan and my work is in West Avenue. Sabi ni Ma'am Miss Mayen, before I come up with topic proposal, I think then on the number of survey sampling, if achievable. I'm having a hard time understanding how to determine number of survey sampling daw po, Doc.
Ayan.
So, ang main concern ni Ma'am Mayen ay yung...
Yes po, sir. Yung sa sampling po yun, yung probability and non-probability sampling. Ano po? Diniscuss ko po yata yun doon sa quantitative webinar po natin.
Yes,
ano? So it will really depend. Opo, Ma'am May, and it will really depend on your objectives. No? Kasi iba po yung, ang objective po ng probability po kasi is whether or not you can generalize the results. No? Sa non-probability po kasi is you cannot generalize the results to a larger population. You can only conclude based on the population that you surveyed. E depende po yan sa inyo kung ano po yung gusto nyong conclusion. Ano po? For example, sa isang school, no, pwede po kayo mag-quota sampling doon sa isang school. And gusto mo lang i-survey 100 students. Yung 100 na lumabas doon sa eskwelahan, yun lang ang sinurvey mo. You cannot conclude to the whole school kasi you did not use random sampling and you did not follow the sampling size requirement, yung Slovin's formula. So you need to follow that po para maka-conclude mo. I therefore conclude that the whole school is ganito ganyan. All the students of that school are ganito ganyan. Pero if you just use non-probability sampling, you cannot conclude. Only on those students that participated in your survey po. Kaya you have to clarify po ano po yung objectives po ninyo, ma'am. Pero you can always add it to the limitations kung ano yung gusto nyong sampling. Kasi your limitations will guide your panel into seeing na ito lang pala ang kaya natin gawin, no? Kasi hindi pwede i-conclude, hindi pwede generalize. I hope I answered your question, ma'am. Ma'am Mayen?
Sir, can I make a follow-up question for that?
Yes po, ma'am.
For example po kasi nasa tourism masters. What if I just survey a certain group of say people like a group of travelers? Can that be possible even if they come from different parts of the world?
Ano po ang magiging goal niyo, ma'am? Will you want to create a conclusion po na the travelers are like this, the travelers are like that?
Yes, and then how yung it's more on yes, more or less ganyan, yung more on hindi siya more on some mental health, ganyan.
So siguro po, ma'am, we need to first establish ano po yung population. Halimbawa, you want to find out how many tourists.
A certain group lang, group, parang i-identify ko lang yung certain group na yon. Pwede ba yun?
Yeah, pwede po yun. As long as you cite it in your limitations. No? Okay. Scope and limitations of your study. Sometimes they call it scope and delimitations. Okay. Na yun lang po ang tinarget po natin. Kaya po sa chapter 3, nilalagay po natin yung sampling method, yung sino yung ating research participants para guided po yung panel doon sa kung ano yung pwede po natin conclude. Pwede po yun. If you want to target a particular, kunwari lang po, tourists from China. And you have to find out ilan po ang nagta-travel sa atin within, for example, a particular period, 1 month, 1 year, and that becomes your population. And then you probably have to come up with a sample of that population, and you can now generalize to the entire population of that particular year. Yun po ang nakikita ko po na pwede natin gawin. Kung generalizability po yung habol po natin, we need to first establish a population, ma'am.
Yes. Pero ang idea ko is may certain group of for example, group of people like travelers na 40 up, like retirees. Pwede ba siyang i-distinguish na gano'n lang ang population?
Pwede po yun. Purposive sampling po yun. You just have to justify bakit po sila ang gusto niyang pag-aralan. Opo.
Sige, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you din po.
Thank you po, ma'am. Si Ma'am Aura. Sabi niya, refresher and just returned to the academe in IT department. This is for school-based research, a cloud-based asset management system using blockchain technology. And idugtong ko na lang po, Doc. Sabi niya, struggling with my research proposal title. It's an application development. She might want to ask if the title is already okay.
Ano po kasi yan, ma'am, when you parang capstone, when you develop po a particular new process or new technology or new product, ang gusto po natin malaman is the feedback ng mga gagamit, the end user. Ano po, so later, ang mangyayari po niyan, after you have produced the technology or the system, you will now have to survey the users whether or not they find it more effective or more convenient with it, or if it is replacing an old system, you need a comparison. So, kukuha po kayo ng comparison. Kukuha kayo ng mga tao na that will rate the old system and will rate the new system, or you will get respondents who will rate this new system kung dati walang system. Wala pong ginagamit na ganon. So, yun po yung nakikita kong research design po sa inyo kung gagawa po kayo ng new technology or new system po. Yun, I hope I
Thank you, Doc. I'll just make this fast kasi 11:56 na. Sir Gerard, si Professor Gerard, sabi niya, admire experiences and researcher daw po. I think si Sir Gerard yata yung Taga-Ilocos ba? Sorry, hindi. Si Ma'am Carmen. Good AM, sir. How do you write a gap statement in a research? Any basic tips daw po?
You just kasi ang gap kasi means that the topic is not yet fully researched, or may mga areas that have not been well explored when it comes to that particular topic. So you just state it clearly na there is a need for more research in this field because it has not been researched for this type of people, for this place, for ganyan, ganon. Konti lang po. You just have to state it clearly para doon sa nagbabasa po nung introduction. Kasi usually nilalagay po yun sa introduction. The introduction is your argument for the approval of your topic po. So you just state it clearly that there is a research graph. May intindihan na po yan nung nagbabasa ng panel niyo po. No? And you have to establish. No? Siyempre, introduction kasi kailangan may citations po yan. May proof po kayo about what you are asserting po. So, ganun lang po yan, ma'am. Just state it clearly that there is a research graph. This is not well-researched field or topic. Yun lang po, Ma'am Carmencita.
Thank you, sir. Sir Amado, finale po kayo, tapusin ko. I'll just read po yung question, Ma'am Glenda. Hi, Doc. In your published researches, did you use IMRAD or still the longer format? Chapters 1 to 5 then converted into IMRAD.
Yes po, IMRAD po tayo. Yes, ma'am. Yung introduction methodology. Po. You have to use IMRAD po. Kaya ko-convert nyo po talaga. You have to summarize your very thick thesis into IMRAD format, and then you submit it. Yan po yun, ma'am. Maganda po yan, maghintay po tayo ng mga call for papers, no? And then yung mga nagko-call for papers, particularly in your field, for example, kung education po kayo, ano po kayo ng journal that is an education journal na may call for papers, and then submit nyo lang po doon. Ayun. Yun lang po, Ma'am Glenda. Kailangan po IMRED po. Pero depende po sa ibang journals eh. Minsan kasi hindi IMRED ang gusto nila. Meron pa may isa pa eh. Pero hindi ko po masyadong ina-explore yung isang format. Pero pwede po natin pag-usapan yun doon sa isang webinar about publication. Pag-usapan po natin yan. How to write it in IMRED po. Yun lang po, Ma'am Glenda.
Yeah, so sana, Ma'am Glenda, mag-attend po kayo ng ating writing research article for publication. Yan po yung finale ng ating series. Tapos, Sir, I just ran through, tapos si Sir Amado na yung finale. Sabi ni Ma'am Shalek, I would like to attend to other series. Yes, Ma'am, we'll be sending you an invite. Sabi ni Ma'am Aura, thank you daw po, Sir. Tapos, Sir, tama nga ako si Sir. Tama nga ako si Sir Professor Gerard yung from Ilocos. Si Ma'am Carmesita, thank you daw po. Ma'am Glenda, we'll see you, Sir. I will see you there. Sir Amado, your question would be the finale. Sige po.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon po, Sir Amado.
Sir.
Ganito, here's my question because my action result is all about the enhancing oral reading proficiency of grade 4 learners, which is I use a model approach, which is the approach is interactive reading model approach. It was already approved by the Division of University. Na I'm struggling in kasi nakalimutan ko na when I was doing my master thesis research, I forgot how to tabulate yung aking mga research gathered. Ngayon, meron ako chinikan na mga, di ba may tawag doon, pre-test sa post-test. So tapos na ako ng pre-test, post-test, I'm waiting for the post-test. Now, the question is, gumawa ako ng form para sa raw data. Ngayon, di ba, I have only 26 respondents. And then, nagbilang ako ng 1 to 26. And lahat na nakuha na score ng bata, pero lahat ng mga halimbawa, 26 sila, pero ninanumberan ko sila ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 para madali ma-identify kung saan siya nabibilang ko, ilan ang nakuha ng score. Tama po ba yung ginawa ko?
Medyo effort i-imagine, ano? For purposes of identifying po kung sino po yung mga bata na nahihirapan or nag-improve, opo, maganda po yun, ano? Student 1, student 2, student 3, tinan po natin kung may improvement siya dun sa post-test. Pero for purposes of the remedial intervention po na ginamit nyo po, all we need to do is to look at the totality, the means of the pretest and the means of the post-test. Yung gagamit po tayo ng paired t-test po. Yung paired t-test na statistical tool. So yung per student po, malalaman po natin sino yung nahihirapan pa rin, sino yung nag-improve. Pero hindi po actually kailangan yon when you come up with action research. Kasi hindi po tinitingnan yung individual performance. Ang tinitingnan po is the whole class. Yun po yung makikita natin, nag-improve po sila in general, hindi po yung particular students. Pero for your own consumption po, makakatulong po yun sa inyo. As the Opo.
Kasi ito, para ma-identify ko kung talagang sila nagkaroon ng improvement. And I use two sets of questions. Number 1 is for kasi yung ating objectives of this, doon sa ating objectives doon is pronunciation, fluency, vocabulary, grammar, and then repetitive approach, yung aking mga objectives doon. So gumawa ako doon, nilagay ko kung saan sila nabibilang. Kasi actually yung aking survey questionnaire, halo na siya, kumbaga tawag, nakalimutan ko yung term na ginagamit doon. Naka-integrate na siya. Nandoon na yung comprehension, nandoon na yung vocabulary, nandoon na fluency. Ngayon, out of 8 questions, may nakakuha ng 6 na tama. So yung number 1, nakakuha ng 6, nilagay ko doon kung saan siya napibilang. Tama, is it possible? Tama po ba yung ginawa ko para ito i-tabulate? Then, After that, for ano na lang, for interpretation of data na lang, for the statistical data analysis. Tama po ba?
Medyo po nakaka-challenge i-imagine po yung inyong ginawa, no? Ang aking advice po is, since you have four tama po ba? 4 domains, 4 scores. 4 po yung scores na isang bata. Tama po ba? Kasi 8 questions lang eh. So tama, 2 questions lang po ba yon per domain. So you can actually have 4 paired t-tests as well as a general t-test, a general paired t-test for all the results para malaman po natin kung may improvement, no, kung may significant difference at kung mas mataas po yung mean ng post-test. Kasi kung may significant differences, mas mataas po yung mean ng post-test, ibig sabihin nag-improve po sila in general. Pero pwede nyo rin po i-t-test kasi kada domain. So you can have a total of 5 paired t-test results, no, per domain, and then you have a total paired t-test. So medyo marami po kayong gagawing t-test. Pero doon po sa tinatanong niyo po, sir, I have to apologize, sir. Hindi ko ma-imagine po kasi I have to visualize. Nahirapan po kayo visualize numbers po kasi.
Okay. And last
Yeah,
question.
thank you, Doc.
Gumamit ako ng
Sige, sir.
gumamit ako ng frequency, tapos frequency, standard deviation, and mean score yung ginamit ko para ma-identify kung saan sila bibilang. Di ba ngayon kasi frequency, tapos from the frequency is the mean and standard deviation. Kasi doon, base sa research ko, yun ang akma doon sa aking which I use as Loven's formula.
Okay po. Madami po kayong nabanggit na formula. So, I'm sure, sir, you know what you're doing, sir. Mukhang alam niyo naman po yung ginagawa niyo, sir. Ang mahalaga lang po is once you submit it, di ba po, ma-appreciate po ng kung kanino niyo po isasubmit yung inyong action research, sir.
To the division of Quezon City.
Yes.
Actually, ay my God, dagdag trabaho ko sa akin eh. Kasi pinapa-complete ko na siya.
Sir,
for completed na siya. Approve yung aking proposal ng 1 to 3 chapter. Basta yung action research proposal. Actually, action research proposal, wala naman siyang doon. Iba ang kanyang action research kaysa sa basic research and the master thesis, ibang kanyang format. Pero parehas lang, rationale lang pagkakaiba doon in the first part. Tama
Yes,
po
sir.
kayo?
Good luck po. Yes, sir.
Sir, thank you. Thank you so much po. It's 12:07. Sir Amado, maraming salamat po.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing your passion also in writing research with us. So as I was saying po a while ago, all those who will be planning to attend for our part 2 next week, make sure to reserve your slots kasi po this is the very reason why we only offer limited slots para po you'll have time to have questions at the end to Dr. Fabella. So we'll be sending you po invitation as early as tonight, then fill out the form and then just tell us that you're confirming your slot po. So muli po sa aming mga regular students, maraming salamat for coming back every Sunday to our center. At mukhang magkakaroon na po kami ulit ng marami pang regular students. Thank you so much. Basahin ko lang yung sabi ni Ma'am Rosemaline. Thank you, Doc Fabella. Very inspiring po ang my experiences nyo. And very informative po talaga. And also, thanks to PSC. Thank you very much, Ma'am, for this wonderful webinar. God bless po. Hopefully po, you can recommend us also to your colleague and friends that they will also try our center as regards research writing lectures because we are sure that we sustained excellence even in the new normal. Again po, on behalf of Powerhouse Scholastic Center, our board of directors, to our lecturer, in-house lecturer, Dr. Fabella, of which we are really proud of. Maraming salamat po. I hope 1 or 2 we learn a lot today and we hope to see you again by next week. This has been Sir Mark, signing off. Happy Sunday, everyone, and stay safe.
Pwede na mag-leave.
Yes, sir. By the way po, we'll be sending you your certificate and copy of the lecture on Tuesday po.
Thank you so much.
Allow us the process.
Thank you,
Sir Amado,
sir.
nice meeting you po. Thank you,
Thank
Ma'am
you
Rose.
po.
Thank you
Thank
po.
you so
Sir, thank you
much.
po.
Ma'am Mayen, thank you. Professor Gerard, thank you. Sir, Ma'am Virginia, thank you. Ma'am Shannon, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir Erwin, as usual, thank you. Sir Ram, thank you. Ma'am Laika, thank you so much. Hope to see you next week.
You.
Oh, Ma'am Mayen is already hitting the road. Thank you. Ma'am Ora, thank you po. We'll hope to see you next week. Ma'am Glenda.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, Ma'am Diana, thank you. Ma'am Kathy, thank you.